Hello, and thanks for tuning in. I'm Larry Tritell, and welcome to Larry's Music Stories. This is the story of a classic song by the Beatles, "The Day in the Life." It was released in 1967 on the album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. There was a couple of newspaper articles that John Lennon read that inspired this much-loved song. The first was an article about a friend of John's, Tara Brown. Brown, who was family to the Guinness Brewery, was driving at over 106 miles per hour and didn't see a traffic light had changed and collided with a parked truck. His injuries turned out to be fatal, and there were drugs and alcohol found in his system. Lennon said about it, "I was reading the paper one day about the Guinness heir who killed himself in a car. That was the main headline story. He died in London in a car crash. At the time, Paul didn't realize the reference was to Tara. He thought it was about a stoned politician." And the second article Lennon read was a story about how a surveyor had counted 4,000 holes in the roads of Blackburn and said in order to fill them, they'd need enough material to fill the Albert Hall. This iconic track features a 41-piece orchestra, and it took all four Beatles and producer George Martin to play the song's final chord. They used 3 pianos, and by raising the faders, the final note lasts 42 seconds. Fun fact, a very high David Crosby was one of the first people to hear this track, and he tells this story. "They sat me down, and they had these huge speakers like coffins with wheels, and they rolled them up to me on either side of my stool. By the time it got to the end of that piano chord, man, my brains were on the floor." How great is that? I hope you enjoyed this story. Till next time, remember what the great Ian Anderson said, "Life's a long song, but the tune ends too soon for us all."